Hello everybody, and welcome to my Four Boys and an NL Girl podcast. My name is Patty, and this is a podcast about knitting and crocheting and rug hooking and cross stitching and all the crafty goodness that I get up to in the run of a week, which is a fair bit. The cats apparently are fighting in the background today. They've been fighting all morning. I'm not sure why. They're not the best of friends. We have two cats, Angel and Bella, and they're not the kind of cats that groom each other or curl up together. They're kind of, they tolerate each other, and they do have hissy fits at each other every now and then, and this morning has been particularly hissy, I'm afraid. I am coming to you from Canada, from the extreme east coast of Canada, in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador on the island of Newfoundland. And it is a slightly snow-brushed, beautiful morning, actually. The snow came last night. It's only less than a centimeter, I would say, just a dusting of snow, but it's made for a nice bright clean day. Yesterday was 8 degrees Celsius. It was raining. We've had strange weather over the past few weeks. Some days warm like summer, and then other days quite cold. There goes Bella. I am going to talk to you this morning about a few exciting things. First, I'm going to start with a finished object. Now, I think most people on podcasts would actually call this a half-finished object, but because I so rarely knit and finish socks, I'm calling this a finished object. So this is my sock that I showed you last week, heel done all the way up to the cuff. There's a little bit of yarn hanging off here, and that's because I want to match up the stripes. So I've left this to show where I had started with the heel yarn, so I know what to do there. So this is Knit Picks Felicia yarn in the Punch Bug. Here, put it on the side where there's not all the yarn hanging off. In the Punch Bug colorway, and I love it. I think it makes for a great sock. And then, for my works in progress this morning, I have knit, sorry, I've got yarn going everywhere this morning. So I'm about 4 rows away from putting in my afterthought heel into the second sock. So I'm really pleased about that. That means that, so I've done a fair bit of knitting this week. On my socks, I have not, I'll pull out, oh, and my sock is being held in this wonderful hot chocolate, cocoa, and marshmallow bag made by my friend Lynn. Hi, Lynn, at the Sunshine and Bubblegum podcast. And I'll put Lynn's Etsy shop on the screen as well. This is a perfect size for a pair of socks, and I love it because I can carry it around by the handle, and it makes for a very easy thing for me to take with me wherever I go. So that's that. I'll show you my shawl. So remember last week I had said, so this is housed currently now in my Prairie Dye Studio Canada project bag. So this is a sweater size bag. So it's very large for my shawl, but I wanted to use it for my shawl. So I think last time I showed you this project, I had holes in it. So what I did is I put in a lifeline halfway, just above, in a knitted row just above where the holes were, and then I ripped it back to the lifeline and picked up again, and then took out one more row to make sure my stitches and such weren't twisted. So I unfortunately lost a lot of knitting with that, and I haven't worked on this since I pulled it out. But here is, now it is nice and not, well, as holey as lace is, but not holey, not the incorrect holey, so I'm really pleased with that. So I need to get working on that, because I think I should be able to, I don't know if I'll have this one finished by next week, but definitely by the week after I should have that shawl finished. So that's pretty exciting for me. Put that back in the bag. Try and keep some semblance of organization here this morning. So the other thing that I started on this week is, oops, yarn going everywhere. The other thing that I started this week is I'm doing the, I'm part of the, with the Fiber Friends podcast. Hi, Louise and Caroline and Adrian. They're hosting a Canadian Afghan A knit-along. And I'm hoping that somebody's going to join me in the Ravelry group because nobody has yet. I am knitting, I'll show you in the back here, I'm knitting the Canada flag. So it's going to be more of a, what are those pillows? A long rectangular pillow? Is that called a bolster pillow, I think? So I'm going to be knitting one of those, and I've barely started, but I wanted to show you how much I've done. So I've got the row of moss stitch or seed stitch done at the bottom. I've got that done. And then I'm just getting started on the pattern. I have mistakes made already that I need to fix. The pattern, it's a new stitch to me. It's a knit from the bottom stitch, which I haven't done before, and I think I'm doing it incorrectly because the pattern is not working out the way it looks in the picture, so I need to take out a couple rows and fix that. Isn't that what knitting's all about? Is knitting, taking back. Knitting, taking back. At least that's what my knitting is like these days. So that's okay though. It's I'm more of a process knitter than a product knitter, so I do want to get the shawl finished because I want to wear it, so I guess that one's becoming now more of a product knit. But mainly, I just like knitting. I just like going round and round or purling or whatever. I really enjoy, I find knitting and crocheting and many of the crafts that I do very therapeutic, and I could just, it's nice to get something nice at the end, but I just enjoy the process. I am knitting this out of some good old-fashioned Patons Canadiana. So this is 100% acrylic. The color is toasty gray, and I thought it would look good with my couch. So I'm planning on having it in the living room. And I intentionally chose acrylic for this pillow because I have 3 boys. Well, of my 4 boys, I'm married to 1 boy, and then we have 3 children. And they're really hard on cushions, let's be honest. They're 10, 8, and 6, and they kill the cushions in this house. So I wanted something nice and sturdy. And this acrylic has come a long way since the 1970s and 1980s. And this is not a bad yarn for me to be knitting up. So I'm enjoying this knit. It'd be great if I could knit it without mistakes, but hey, that's just not me. The other knit-alongs that I'm involved in are the Crafty Winter make-alongs. So that is being hosted in my Ravelry group, and I'll post that information in the bottom of the screen. And lots of people are joining in there, which is wonderful. I enjoy, there's a finished object group. I'll be drawing prizes from the finished object group and from the chatter thread. So keep an eye out for those, and make sure that you post as many things as you can. And the idea behind the make-alongs is that it's anything you're working on. So it could be sewing or paper crafts, knitting, crocheting, rug hooking, anything crafty-wise that you're involved in. You can post it there. And we'd love to see it. I love seeing what everybody's involved in. And I brought back the Crafty Winter make-along because so many people were interested in seeing that again. So there's even a quilt, a gorgeous dog quilt, wiener dog quilt on there. So you need to go over and check that out because it is beautiful. And I'm considering actually making one for my youngest son because I've started a quilt for eldest. And maybe I should show that actually soon because I haven't made it very far, but that will give me incentive to get some more done. So I talked about the Crafty Winter make-along and the Canadian Afghan A. Don't forget that over on Instagram I'm still doing the stash bust. I've been really good, so I don't have any acquisitions to show you because I'm trying to stash bust this year. And under the Instagram hashtag is Fourboysstashbust 2018. So if you are also working on busting your stash, so I've listed my socks there, I've listed my shawl there, because those are both things that I'm using for my stash. I'm not knitting or listing the Afghan because even though I had that before I started the stash, I bought it intentionally for that. I might list it, we'll see. Anyway, it's all about stash busting, and that includes cross stitching and for me knitting and rug hooking. So whatever I'm involved in, I'll be posting under stash busts. So make sure that you do the same because I'd love to see what you're using out of your stash. The other exciting thing I wanted to talk to you about this morning is something that I've been working on since last fall, and I'm really excited about it. I just announced it on Facebook and Instagram, so if you're an Instagram or a Facebook follower, then you would know this already. But for those of you who don't follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, I wanted to tell you about, actually I want to invite you to come and join me to a knitting and crocheting retreat here in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. It's actually going to be held on an island called Bell Island, which is just off of St. Philip's, Portugal Cove, St. Philip's, which is a small community about 20 minutes from St. John's. So it takes about 20 minutes from St. John's Airport by taxi to get to the ferry. There's a small ferry you need to take to get over to the island. And we're going to be hosted at the Grand Wabana Inn. Just before this particular video comes out, I'm going to post an invitational video so that you can see a bit of what the retreat is all about. I've listed my email address there, so if you're interested in the information booklet, you can get in contact with me. If you have any questions at all, so if you have questions about price, about what the meals are going to be like, the food is excellent, by the way. But if you have any specific questions about food or about the rooms or anything like that, please get in contact with me. So any questions you have, if you're wondering about, okay, how much exactly does this cost, I can work that out for you so you can see what the cost of the weekend is exactly. There's a $50 registration fee. The rooms per night range between $120 and $160. A lot of the rooms have either a queen or 2 double beds, so they can be shared if you're interested in coming with a friend. And I think it's a weekend dedicated just to knitting and crocheting, so it's going to be a really relaxed weekend. There's going to be a lot of chatting, chit-chat with other people who get it, other people who probably knit in public and on a regular basis like I do, and other people who really who are part of this wonderful knitting and crocheting and making community. I wanted to invite to my province to join in and explore this homemaking community that I've become a part of, which I just absolutely love. And I wanted to give people in this province and from away the opportunity to come here, see what Newfoundland and Labrador has to offer, some beautiful scenery, wonderful people, and I wanted to share that with you. So I'm really hoping that you're interested in the retreat. It's called Knitlantica, and it is, like I said, all about knitting and crocheting, so I'd love to see you there. This is a really short podcast. Because I'm doing the other video, I actually don't have any footage video to show. Well, I'll probably show some kind of footage video on this, but it won't be very long like I usually do. I hope that you have a wonderful week and that you get time to make something that makes your heart happy. Take care. Bye-bye.